All right, good morning, good morning. Getting started in just a second. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's go. Just about to be top of the hour in a second here. First order of business, London hour. Levels leveled. What's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Dale, Tom, how are you? Guess the market really cares about this CPI crap, huh? It can't seem to go anywhere, though. Yeah. Here's your Dow Jones February. Whole lot of nothing. Markets don't know what they're doing the last week or two, do they? Well, dollar index ranging. Yen was ranging finally. Seemed to have found a direction the last couple of days. The end of this day. Yesterday, really. But before that, range. These markets got to figure out where they want to go, huh? Crypto, we were looking at that. Well, let's keep an eye on this here. That reaccumulation we were looking at yesterday might be playing out already. But anyway, let's keep an eye on this. Oh, we got 4 minutes. Real quick. I think we did come off that accumulation area, which was through here. And of course, CPI even affected this. Hey, this is acting like a regular thing. Except at the higher prices, though. We ended up higher than we've been in the last week, so that's good. Off of strength and news. Might be going for the leg up again here. Let's see if we can hit 29 on Bitcoin soon. Be nice. So this guy, let's see, which one was it? Pound yen is popping out of the levels. What's up? What's up? Good morning. There is light impact pound news. 28 minutes. CPI was 2 hours ago. So that was right at the Euro session open, was also CPI pound. And then you have the London open there. So plenty of stuff behind us. Let's see what it does here for the London hour trade. You know, does that add some risk having some light impact news? Is it listed as light impact everywhere? You never know. But it's not high impact. Change of price in homes. Why is it listed as light impact? It sounds kind of important. So that's something to consider. Even though it's not high impact news, we already had that. We're done with that. The pound. As far as maybe an element of risk having that, if there's an entry before that. So far, nothing. Nothing confirming. Buck wild on the news yesterday. And again, we keep seeing this. We keep seeing it. There's two on the chart right now. The high impact news is the other one. High impact news with no result. It's not normally what you see. Again, high impact news, we end up right in the middle of all that madness. On both of these examples, you end up right in the middle for a good, whatever that is, 8-10 hours of just going nowhere and settling down in the middle and not having a result from an overview. Larger time frame, 1 hour, not having a result off high volume again and again. It's not, helpful as far as reading the positioning in the background, seeing that there's a consensus, labeling something accumulation or distribution, and so on. Right? We've been labeling this range. We can't call it accumulation distribution. Of course, we had a fake break of the high, but we don't see accumulation off the lows, distribution off the highs. It's just the news moves and no result. We could have broken out of the range and accepted those levels off news or done whatever, right? But we're in the middle of the range. That's just a market that doesn't know what it's doing. It reacts to news and then it still doesn't know what it's doing. It didn't fix the problem. So says the chart, right? And so that's markets generally that are just, again, or the Dow reacting to news with no clear result, effort versus result, defining background based on volume. Again, here's another example of news ending up in the middle of the range as a result. So that's rare to see it that many times. I mean, it's got to tell you the lack of consensus, the indecision going on, perhaps, right? Where's the buying off the lows and the selling off the highs? Well, you may have it here and there, but no, not really. Nothing stands out except news. And again, no result. That is the problem. So these markets got to figure out what they want to do. That's the U.S. dollar general markets situation. The yen's finally figured out they might want to trend up. Basically yesterday they figured this out, or the day before a little bit, with the yen trending down finally. So as far as like trend, right, that can drive things, maybe we continue with the weak yen, right? As far as what does the market know at this point that it wants to do? Maybe it wants to continue these trends against weak yen. Weak yen for the last day or two. Otherwise, the markets have no idea what they're doing. So says the chart. So we'll try to navigate this business. So if you're looking back at the last week and a half, saying, I can't identify the phase. I don't know what smart money's doing. Well, you're doing good analysis because they don't know what they're doing besides reacting to news and still not having any sort of consensus or real move off of that. It's a little weird to see in February. I guess it has to do with the whole, which way is the economy going? It's very split at this point. I mean, most people are bearish. But there seems to be more questions than answers. Among the big money. So says the chart, right? Show me something different going on besides nothing. And then reacting to news, but still giving you nothing. That's most markets. So it'll figure itself out. Like I said, generally I took off some profit a couple of weeks ago on things. Looking to buy low, sell high, and just haven't done anything yet as far as swing trades. Gold, silver might be coming down to a potential buy area. Oil's been in that range, high 70s, 80. Just kind of sitting around there. Okay, we are actually down here on gold where I would consider finally buying. It's just the beginning of where I would consider buying as far as a swing position. If I can hold out and maybe see a 618 overshoot, it's kind of a nice 2 push down or ABC retracement. I don't want to miss the pound trade. Let me just see where we are on that. Nothing yet, and nothing yet. Okay. Mr. Knox, market's confusing you at the moment. Okay, well then you're doing it right, because they are confused. So if somebody claims to say, oh, markets are definitely gearing up for this or that, they don't know what they're talking about, because there is nothing to say. That certainty isn't there, for sure. If anyone is very confident in something, as far as what the U.S. dollar is going to do, the Dow, global markets in general, if they're very confident about something, I don't know where they'd be getting that from. Maybe they do moon phases. That's a thing. Trading moon phases. Yeah, there you go. Maybe stochastics. On a daily chart. Mr. D. New. Do you find gold suitable for day trading or just swing trading? Yeah, no problem with it day trading. You could. At this point, I'd be saying the same thing. Being this low and seeing potentially strength come into this area. If not, it could be trending down further, and I'd be looking to sell on weakness. For a day trading sort of analysis, the first thing I would do is see if we get to the previous support to resistance, which was also 50 fib, so that's not a coincidence, so that's a level I had marked in advance, and then wrong line, and see if there's weakness coming in there, and that would be a reasonable target. Otherwise, if it just drops, then I will be considering this area for the buy, which was the plan for me from the beginning. If we can get, it doesn't have to go that low. If I see high volume strength a little higher, I'll consider it. But with me swing trading, I'm patient. If it's coming down, I'm waiting. And if we get high volume from a higher time frame point of view, showing strength coming in, which not so much, maybe a bit here, but that's a good sign that there is potentially buying now coming in our zone. But yeah, for a day trading move, I'd be looking at that, possibly weakness coming in there, unless you're really seeing the imbalance to the upside, strength and lack of weakness. Al Brooks, no, I heard of him. No, price action. You like that? Reading that book. Trying to tell my newbie friend the market is confused is a funny concept, rather than tell him some pundit prediction. Yeah, you're telling them the truth. Yeah, they're confused, or they're on the sidelines, kind of waiting for certainty, consensus among smart money. Yeah, I mean that's not great for clickbait. These experts on YouTube. Market is uncertain. I don't really have a prediction. Yeah, click on my video. This is about to happen. It's not very exciting to say, but that's what it is. I need to be watching the pound. But I'm ready to act as soon as I see a little certainty. Again, with swing trading, buy low, sell high. Let's see if we get out of these ranges and stuff. So far with the London hour trade, this is not a short I would take here. It just really didn't spend much time above and really showing us the level. And of course the volume's just kind of average. So it popped out, but that's the actual level there. So it popped out in the first few minutes. Let's just see what it looks like up there if we get some detail. A bit of selling. Nothing crazy. So it could still go either way. And this just did actually. Is that the high? Oh, okay. That's our level itself. Okay, so that hasn't done anything since then. Yeah, it's funny. The yen, besides maybe the yen looking weak the last day or two, maybe it figured itself out and it's trending down, the yen. So we're bullish against the yen, perhaps, if we keep seeing signs of that. But besides that, with nothing else going on, cryptos look bullish. If there's one thing you could say is cryptos look bullish. We were just looking at the prediction to 24 that I had in early January. We hit that. And now we're starting to see reaccumulation. Again, we looked at it yesterday in a level that was very predictable to do. And now we're moving up off of that reaccumulation. So that's behaving normally. It should try to break 24 soon. Bitcoin and generally crypto's moving up. So says the chart. Cryptos are behaving, I've seen it change over time. It's behaving more like a regular asset now, like this correlation with other things, and the news comes out and you see very similar looking news moves in cryptos to other markets. It's kind of joined with the bunch a bit, but it's definitely looking more bullish, like it actually knows where it wants to go. I was saying generally, though, that move up to 24 in January for Bitcoin and generally moving up the cryptos, it's going to get some people to be jumping back in again. And we got to the level where they're likely going to bail and regret their position. So maybe from that point, we're going to now move up again. Let's see what's happening here. So we do have light impact news for the pound in 15 minutes. That adds some risk to the trade. It's not high impact. If it was, it might be just something to skip, right? So if it does end up setting up just before news, you could skip it. You could take a small risk. It's that sort of thing I think makes sense. Yeah, I'll look up Al Brooks. I always hear his name thrown around. I believe I've heard him. I'll check that out, though. What I do is, I'm just in my bubble. But then I do venture out and see what certain people have to say. And I end up taking a thing or two from them. And that's it, You can kind of tell I do that. I'll borrow some from Wyckoff, borrow some VSA, borrow some this and that. You never know what gold nuggets are in there. You're actually quite impressed. Cool. Al Brooks. Even by the prefix. Wow, okay. I'll check it out. A lot of similar things as you, mindset and time frame. Simplify to like 1 MA and that's it. Yeah. What would your stop loss be if pound yen sets up? Well, I don't know which direction it'll set up. But what I'm tending to do in these cases, okay, so if we have the long entry, for example, I go right to, okay, putting it behind the previous swing, but also considering, and I don't like to put it right behind. That's where a bunch of stop losses are on breakouts. So I give it a little room. But also if we're looking at the, and consider pip count, if we're looking at the entire range, to get it just past the middle of the range also. And that would be like the furthest I would need to go. Let's see, if we round it off to 55, a 30 pip stop would be here. Oh, it's pretty big. Okay. 25, 39. So this would be a 30 pip stop already here. And that's something to consider for a risk. So it could be on the higher pip count. It's a bit of a bigger range than usual, huh? 100 and 50 pip range. So that's as far as I would want to go, is maybe 17, 16. If it's a fake break and I'm shorting, then I allow, maybe 10 pips above the high for the stop. Size of the range, yeah. So definitely it's all about, doing the right position size for the pip count, and that'll be a little bigger than usual, yes. Okay, nothing yet. Have I heard of harmonic Elliott wave? Yeah. Vaguely in passing. Is that projecting future waves based on present waves? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it is. So new highs we haven't seen in a little while, just coming in with that weak yen here on EJ. Weak yen. Last day or two. Is that a real breakout? Yeah, it looks like it is. We don't see weakness coming in. We don't see immediate fake break patterns and price rejection. So there wasn't a lot of shorts hit here. Looks like a real breakout. Now what's up with AJ? Well, the Australian dollar's weak right now. Okay, that's a whole other story, huh? But we did move up the last couple of days with that weak yen again. Again, all the volume is just news, and then otherwise they don't know what the hell to do, right? My gosh, it's all news volume and then flat. My goodness, get it together, figure it out, right? At least that news volume had an outcome, had a result, but then it reversed by the next day. We're back to where we started. We're not trending up, higher highs, higher lows there. My goodness, figure it out, right? Oh, nice. Modernized variation of classic. Oh, you're talking about the Elliott wave. Okay. Basically, it's about harmonic fib cluster areas of different fractals, and it focuses on 3 waves, not 5. Okay. What I like the best about it is that there are not so many rules and special rules. Okay, so it's actually not too much. It's simple in a way. Okay. Yeah, I've seen, the Elliott wave stuff, again, it's like I just do the simple version of stuff. A lot of times you see me looking at like ABC retracements to fibs and things. 5 wave up, 3 wave down, simple stuff. Because I know, Elliott wave, you can go way too deep into that shit. Just like a lot of things, it can get overdone. What's the joke? Yeah, as 3 Elliott wave traders for analysis, you get 7 answers. Cool, cool. Take it in. I mean, that's just my opinion about stuff is, yeah, everything's worth checking out. And you may take stuff from it, you may not. You may take 1 or 2 things, you may take, yeah, and combine it with whatever makes sense for you and whatever you're doing. That's my take on things. Doesn't hurt to check things out and keep learning. But to jump from one thing to another and say, okay, this is the answer. Oh, that didn't work. Let me start again. Okay, this is the answer. No, that didn't work. Let me start again. Right? But when you study a bunch of things and you take away stuff from each, I think, at least for me, that's when it works. That's what makes sense. And if they're good tools and good ways of doing analysis, they should agree. There shouldn't be, well, my VSA says this and then my this says this. You know, use all that information together. And combine volume with the wave count and the Wyckoff phases and simple technical analysis, support resistance, fibs. So this guy's coming down, nothing to do there, nothing to do there. And what's up with this EJ? Likely real breakout. Very, very bullish move here on the EJ because, again, this lack of any weakness, lack of any price rejection for the first few bars, it's just totally accepted up here. This one down came right back up. It's very bullish here, right? It's not getting sold into. It's not a stop hunt. The next thing is, if you're looking at potentially the break test continuation pattern, right? Coming back there to test the old high and then rejecting it or not. It didn't even come to that. It's just the first thing it's hitting, the 14 EMA is holding it up. It might, but, you know, it's taken a while. It's not a break test. It can't even come back to test. So you're seeing how much it's really just accepting this higher price area. And it looks like very much a real breakout. And that's something to look at if we do end up with the test and seeing strength come in on a rejection there. Take that last swing point there. Do we have a fib? Oh, how nice. Nice little correlation there to see strength come in. You could even drop down 618 and hunt some stops on the breakout traders. Trying to scalp the breakout, hunt them, and see strength there to continue through an area that we already know doesn't have supply of any large amount. So that's something to consider. So London hour trade, sitting in the middle of the range. Patience on that. But we do have the light impact pound news in 3 minutes. So good. We don't have to worry about a setup on news. Some good news so far, right? Maybe the news will give it a little more activity. It's not high impact, but a little more activity to get it out of the range one way or another. Or fake break. See what we get today. I do like this EJ looking like a real breakout. The AJ is not as bullish because the Australian dollar itself is weak. That's another story altogether. But that's kind of the overview, having that weak yen. It doesn't mean it can't move up in the near future or whatever it wants to do. Kind of flat today so far. So this is one potential pattern we could see if there's enough selling to even get it this low. But the break test or even down to the 618 overshoot with a little stop hunt. And that could be like a pretty wide bar kind of deal. That closes up. So if we see it, we know what we're looking for if that happens. There's the down move. There, the close. Okay. If it can get down there. Good morning. So if you're just joining us, the conversation so far has been the acknowledgement of the markets not knowing what the hell they want to do. If you're looking at the last week or two, generally in markets, and you're saying, I don't know, I can't figure out what's happening, you're doing it right. Because the big money doesn't know. Sideways range on low activity. News spikes with no result. As news comes and goes, you end up nowhere. You didn't move anywhere. You're flat for the next couple of days. News comes out, spikes all over the place. You go nowhere. No result. So that's the background at this point. Again, the yen looking weak in the last couple of days, but, you know, it's not the major story. So a lot of uncertainty. There's the last couple of weeks of the U.S. dollar, which is, has the correlation with a lot. And besides news spikes, right, all that high volume is news with no result, no direction, no bullish bearish structure, no accumulation distribution by definition. It's so uncertain right now. And we're at the middle of the range, which is hard to get an answer. You can get stuck there. So that's where we are right now with things. Patience, patience. The market will figure itself out. Can the market just be nice today and give us the good old London hour trade that we love? Get on with life. Punch in, make some money, punch out. Let's have that. I'm waiting for my mix files to come in for the greatest cover band in the world, the HSCC, Harley Street Country Club. I'm going to be mixing a song. Waiting for those files. Second mix for them. Can't stop thinking about it. Probably working on that over the weekend. Get the files. Again, the EJ really does look like a real breakout. Now, as far as if you're wondering, like, why am I not buying off the 14 EMA, is because we do have before this retracement here, a double top pattern. So when scalping off the 14 EMA, I avoid buying into double tops. If this had rejected and made another leg up, then I'd be buying off the 14 EMA potentially. But I don't like buying into double tops. That could, logically, right, a little further of a retracement perhaps, and that's why I'm holding out for this potentially. Either a break test continuation or a quick pop into the old range on some volume stop hunt on the FOMO scalpers that went long here and have their stop loss here. So if we see that particular pattern, we know what's happening. I've done no analysis on the euro dollar, and you already know why at this point, right? Because it's shite. If you want to annoy me, just take a screenshot of this and just send it to me at any point in time. Just looking at this is annoying, right? Because it's nothing but news spikes with no result, no trending structure. You're stuck in the middle to start the day. Oh my God. Does it get any worse? If it was any smaller, it'd be like, okay, here's August or July. That's what you get in July. News spikes and nothing. So there's no prediction to be made. And just looking at it is annoying. Right? Yeah, news. What else? What else you got to say besides jumping around on news with no result? Nothing. But yeah, if you want to know what smart money is thinking, what they're saying, what they're talking about, what's going on, they're waiting for some sort of certainty. I mean, I was already generally bullish in markets, but I guess they're not as confident as me. According to my theory of what's going to happen. But whatever the charts say, I'll listen. But I think inflation will chill out and come back to normal. I know I'm not a doom and gloomer. I think it's time for the recovery over the last 2-3 years of all that nonsense, and everybody's going to figure it out. We'll figure it out. At least the pressure's off. Be interesting to go back to times where inflation was terrible and watch the news. And it was probably so doom and gloom at its worst point, right when it started to recover. When was that? The 1970s in the U.S. Inflation was out of control. But supposedly they fixed it by raising interest rates up to 25%. And that's people saying they have to do that again. That's what saved us in the late 70s into the 80s. It was ridiculously high rates. And they're not willing to do it this time. But whatever with fundamentals. I'll read the chart. As soon as I figure it out, the chart will tell me. Tired of looking at this stuff. The whole freaking month of February, I've been looking at this sideways bullshit. News spikes. Tired of it. There's nothing else to talk about. Marking up potential buy areas. The silver swing trades. I'm leaving everything marked. This is where I bought. Oh, I didn't mark where I started selling off. I don't know exactly right now. It was a couple of weeks ago. We'll say generally in here. What is this? Oh, that's too early. January. It was the end of January. Oh, it was because non-farm was coming up too and all that. Okay. That marks where I sold off some of my position. And now I'm looking to buy. Let's see what happens there. Let's see what happens here. Patient swing trading. Gold. Swing trading, that's where I bought. You can see the strength there and why I did that. And then again, started taking profit just before the non-farm week, first week of February. So in here. All right. No action yet on the London hour trade, sitting in the middle of that range. What else could I say at this point? Let's have things develop and keep going. We can do a little more in-depth analysis on the cryptos, I suppose, while we're sitting here. What else can we do? That at least is a analyzable chart. It's looking very bullish, as I've been saying for the last 6 weeks. Mr. Knox, no stop loss, sir. No stop loss. I buy low, sell high. I'm not worried about gold and silver going to zero. I'm not worried about Nope. That's generalizing. Also, when I show those positions, there could be a little more detail as far as scaling in and out, but that's the area. I know people go, no stop. Oh my gosh. Imagine that. No margin call, no stop. But it's a really simplified, higher time frame version of what you already see me doing. As you can see, right, as I was marking up there. Buy low, sell high, fib areas, support resistance, have volume confirmed, 4 hour chart, home base for me. Check the daily chart and kind of get the overview, but 4 hour works for me. No stop. That's right. I'm just in the market. That's it. I'm in. And if things tank, I'm prepared for that. Prepared for anything. I don't risk more than I'm willing to lose. And I don't expect gold, silver, oil, Dow, stocks, solid stocks that I'm holding, all the stuff, just to go to zero and never come back. I mean, if it's the end of the world, it's the end of the world. I mean, with cryptos, can you imagine how I was, the position I was in 2020 when Bitcoin dropped to 4,000 or 4,500, whatever it was, Bitcoin. But I said at the time, and it's funny because I had just made my course for crypto swing trading, so I was doing the live classes, which is now part of the course. So we actually deal with all that stuff, and you could see it. It comes with the course. And so I was saying, I know it looks crazy, but this is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm really glad I'm talking about swing trading cryptos for the first time to everybody while we're sitting here, down here. It's all good. Oh no, it's COVID. It's the end of the world. Yeah, you know. Buy opportunity. Now I didn't get in at 4 or 5, but I got in around 7,000. I started buying again. It was the first up move in fib retracement. I'll never forget it. And I started buying, and then especially in higher higher low structure and strength. So whatever it was, 7 something, 8, I bought more Bitcoin and more crypto. And then it went to 59, right? Or 69. So it's really long-term stuff. You never know if you're getting out in a month or 6 months or a year or maybe in a week after you get in, it moves your way. You never know. But it's rare that I close my entire position. I typically leave some, but selling off into up move, selling off into up move. So if we're at a bull run that goes for a while, at least I'm just in it. I don't have to worry about, I'm not in it. Now I have to buy high because I closed my entire position. I don't have to worry about that. Sometimes I will when you really see climactic volume and the chart is just saying a classic top is forming on ultra high volume. Then I'll close the whole thing. But that's rare. Anything of interest here? No. EJ? Forgot about that. Oh. Didn't quite get there. Let's see if we can still do that. Break test or a little further. Either one. See what goes on there. But we've lost the momentum of the up move. It looks very much like a real breakout. That's why I'm focusing on this. But I do want to do a proper entry if I get in it. How do people pump and dump crypto well? I know you don't, but I've got such a small amount, those 5% ups and downs. How do people, you're asking like the mechanics of pump and dump, or how are you going to take advantage of it? Yeah, it's really stress-free stuff. If you know that, like, there's no time frame. It's not money you're going to need anytime soon. If there's money that you look at it that way, yeah, to really take your time swing trading, buying low, selling high. Mr. Dean. So you're just asking about pump and dumps. Well, I mean, long story short, you have big money likely sneakily pre-positioning for an up move, accumulation. It's just an exaggerated accumulation into markup, into distribution. It's the same old story. It's just sped up. Think of it that way. So if we wanted to do a pump and dump, right, we do it together. So everybody sneakily buy in small amounts as we get lower prices on whatever. Pick some crypto that's very dry. What's the word? No liquidity. I like OXT. They do pump and dumps constantly. It's time for another one. I'm waiting for the next one, and I have my limit orders in there waiting for it. If we go to a daily chart, no, let's go to a weekly chart. Look at all the pump and dumps. Well, that's the whole thing in this existence. Okay, so look at all the pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like it's time for another one. So I have my limit orders that'll just go pop, 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 pop. If that happens, could be quick. But imagine, we all have a bunch. Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about pump and dump, there you go. This is a pump and dump freaking machine. And I'm just waiting for the next one. Again, limit orders in there because it's so quick you could miss it. So I just have a bunch of orders through here to close in pieces. But, again, we could all buy patiently, and then it's go time. At a very particular time, we buy. We could do it at a point where supply is shown to be very thin, very low. And you could look at the orders, get more in the market depth, whatever it's called. It's been so long since I looked at it. With the exchanges that show you the orders and and the dome and see what's going on at higher prices. And if you have a time that's really showing low supply or whatever, that will help. And everybody buys at once and pump. And then we have our limit orders. We're getting out. We're closing off. And others will see that move and also start jumping in and may give it momentum. But the thing to know about trying to do a pump and dump yourself, the big fish will come in and be like, no, you don't. There's always a bigger fish. But if you do it right with enough money, nothing's going to stop it, obviously. So that's the story. And look at the percentage increase. And this is 7 times your money. This is, 100,000 turned into 700,000 if you bought here and you're getting out here. It's insane. And again, it's very quick with the pump and dump. Yep, so there you go. I'm waiting for that one. I'm in. I'm waiting. Hopefully just wake up one day or whatever, check my phone, have a nice surprise whenever they decide to do it next. But you see generally how diversified I am with swing trading also. So, the chances of everything being down and being down for a long period of time and just all turning to shit, it's not going to happen. You can have, again, 2020 was a great buy opportunity. If that doesn't stop markets and fuck up your swing trading, then nothing will. You good? That's something to talk about while we wait. Nothing yet. London hour trade. EJ, I wanted to get in. I would have liked a bit of a lower dip. Break test continuation pattern or stop hunt in here. And not just buy but it looks very much like a real breakout there. There's a bit of the activity on that down move. It was a little fake break there. Well, let's see. Maybe it'll still happen. Might not be enough sellers to get it down there. That's how bullish it looks. Looks like we have yen on the weak side. Lower lows, lower highs, kind of. And strong euro. Yeah. So it's a nice combination. Try to find a way in long there. I'll be back in a minute. Patience, patience. Still could get the London hour trade. We're done with the pound news, so we're all good. See if we get something, and maybe EJ. Who knows? Finally put vocals on this song, so you might hear an updated version soon with somebody singing on it. We try to get the song done. Mr. Dean, few losses for you this week. Whoa. Okay. Few losses. Yeah, this week is, market doesn't know what it's doing. Very tricky, very tricky. Hopefully your risk in check. Yeah, I had my worst day of the year so far was yesterday. And that was only my second losing day since January 3rd when we returned. Only 2 losing days. But yesterday was the worst. Yeah. So I'm with you on that. This shit is, I think you came in later. We were saying, just to repeat really quick, serious uncertainty. In the sideways ranges with the news spikes that don't go anywhere, all that going on. All of this, with the correlation with other markets, the US dollar and stuff, it's all over the place. There is no clear stuff. Again, it's just news spikes with no result. At least give us a result. Trend structure, no. Volume, clear background, no. It just floats with the wind. Bugs out on news, but still it doesn't help. it ends up right in the middle of the range of the news chaos. You can't even say, okay, higher prices got accepted, lower prices, or broke out as a result of news or whatever, you know? And that's just everywhere. So if you're struggling this week, it is the toughest week so far of the year. I'm blocking it into, okay, this year. Well, we ended great last year. Okay, put that aside. And January was nice and easy. Yeah. But yeah, yesterday was my worst day of the year. I mean, whatever, it's one losing day. It's 2 for the year so far. It's all good, but that tells you something. So I'm pretty decent at this. So this market is confused. It's not something's going on and we don't know, or we're doing something wrong because we don't know. Really, the story on the chart is that the market doesn't know what to do. And if you talk to somebody who knows fundamentals, which wouldn't be me, and actually understands properly, they're not trying to trade frickin', off news, but they actually understand market forces from fundamentals, could probably explain it better to you why this is going on. But I don't listen to those guys too much, whatever. I can tell by looking at the chart. I don't need to know why, as I always say. I know there's uncertainty. And I know that news and numbers that come out that normally help certainty come back, the CPI or non-farm or whatever, interest rate decisions, things that help certainty come back and we can start trending, hasn't helped. So the why is for a fundamentalist to tell you, but that's what the chart is saying, factually. So that's my take on it this week so far. Maybe you want a lower risk for the rest of the week, As you say, losses are part of the plan, absolutely. I'm trying to get into making music. Oh, really, Mr. Knox? Good. There's something to talk about. That definitely interests me while we're sitting here waiting for a setup. Okay, we got a couple of things brewing. Let me read the rest. I hear songs in my head to the point it affects my sleep. I know the sleep, writing in your sleep and hearing it in your sleep. Yes, I know all about it. So I got a MIDI keyboard to use with Ableton. Nice. But can me and 3 friends work out how to use it? Hell no. Oh, yeah. You got to get through that first few months before you're just like fast with it and you know everything. Of course, as you already know, there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube and all that. So yeah, learn it, get it over with. It'll be like second nature. It'll be like nothing. How old are you? Hope to trade and make music like you someday. I very much enjoy my life. Trading, music, and family time. I'm simple. Also, I was looking at one of the prop firms and most of their top people last month in the 12 to 20% account gain, but some are like 30%. I don't see how someone could sustain that. Yeah. That's not going to give you the longer the sample size, the more you can really judge what's going on. So over a short, if you're talking about a month or something, that's not backed up by long-term results. So who knows? Yeah. Vocals sound good. What are you listening to? Let's see. Are you listening to this? You talking about the song that's on right now, Mr. Knox? Mr. Dean? Learning Curves, yeah. Oh, you're 29. Okay. So yeah, hit it. Get on it. I don't use Ableton. Otherwise, I could say, I could help you. But I don't know where anything is on Ableton. It does 90% the same as whatever DAW I'm using, but Yeah, I'm not familiar with Ableton. At this point, a lot of the other DAWs have caught up and do all the stuff Ableton does, so they're all kind of the same at this point. Bringing in loops and samples and having it like automatically put it on the grid, time correction, high quality, time stretching, and all that shit. It's everywhere now. So at the moment, I use Digital Performer. What? It's like nobody's ever heard of Digital Performer, but that's what I use. And Reason, if you know Reason. Reason's pretty cool. All right, so EJ, maybe we'll do a quick stop hunt because it looks like very much like a real breakout. Let's see if things behave on this and hit some volume into here. That's the projection for a nice continuation up. Let's see. Pound yen, pound dollar, nothing yet. The heck happened to my chat window? I lost it. Oh, there it is. You got Ableton Lite for free and some plugins. There you go. Just start with that. Yeah, don't even spend money. Just start with the free stuff. Make sure you're gonna really do it. But if you can recommend any other DAW, nah, Digital Performer is not like I'm recommending it. Nah. There's nothing really special about it. For me, it's just I started using that in 1998. And there's a familiarity of just how to do everything, know where everything is, every last detail of it. And I have the latest update now, obviously, and all that. It's just familiarity. It's not particularly like Digital Performer is the one to use. For some reason, when Digital Performer came out, like in the late 90s, you know, competing with Pro Tools and whatever, they were looked at as a DAW for movie soundtracks and orchestras and syncing to video. And for some reason, a lot of movies are made, soundtrack to movies is Digital Performer. I don't know why. But they're all the same at this point. You're fine with Ableton. You're really fine. The thing is, if you use Digital Performer, it's more rare. Like, you're not going to find as much help. That's how rare that DAW is. It's like people forget it even exists. If you're looking for tutorials and this and that, you're not going to find much with Digital Performer. EJ, it popped. I didn't see much volume. Let's see the 1 minute. Oh, that's a lot of volume. Okay. So that is what I was hoping for at minimum. Let's test here and see a rejection on volume. No rush. Let's see if we can actually pop down here. But I could simply go off the break test continuation pattern with lack of weakness to the extreme, very much looking like a real breakout. Does it look like the yen wants to continue down? It's choppy. It's really that the euro is looking strong, right? Euro versus the pound. Is it really going to want to continue is the question. What else do I have here to check? Euro versus Swiss franc, but that's a whole other story. You must have very strong Swiss franc the last hour. Euro versus Australia. It's all in the uptrend that looks like it's hopefully going to continue. Good old break test. Where would my stop be to allow for the 618 overshoot? 80. What's a possibility there? You'll stay with Ableton for now? Yeah. Be cool to discuss things once the matter of foundational levels is more interesting for you. Yeah, definitely. You know, you see how long I've been doing this. And I'll tell you right now, as a disclaimer for advice you'll come across, when you hear people talking about how to do this or that, I mean, technical stuff, yeah, that's easy. But, every professional engineer does this. You have to always do this. A lot of that's bullshit. It's like trading. The MA crossover. So, you just take it in. But if there's an engineer saying, always do this, never do this, here's a trick, avoid that stupid shit. There's engineers on YouTube that are teaching stuff, and I've never even heard their work. Like, who are you? Does your stuff even sound good? Eddie stop loss hunting. Yeah, hopefully is the case there. EJ. Biggest issue is trying to remap the pads instead of the keys, but I'll do some more digging. Yeah, you'll figure it all out. As like overwhelming as it may seem to do simple stuff, yeah, in a month, 2 months, you'll just be doing it without thinking. It's like a new skill. So keep at it. Very good. I'll tell you that one simple trick to get your vocals to sound professional. Yeah, exactly. It's like trading. AU is like, why AU? Like, why are you asking? I have a question for you to answer your question. Why are you asking? The dollar pairs can all suck my ass at this point. I mean, what is this? What's going on here? You tell me. It's the same shit I've been complaining about since we started the session and warning about everything. So the background is crap. I mean, it's basically the euro dollar. It's the same thing. There's one, there's the other. A 5-minute chart? Why? 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 Absolutely why? Here's support. We didn't get there. We got close and nothing really eventful happened. This is London hour. This is London open volume. So disregard that as being anything important. And nothing. All right, you want some analysis? Well, you have the support. So let's see. Maybe a fake break or a real break, depending on what happens there, since we're so close. Is that the right support? Oh, there's a couple. Okay, there's a higher one. So this general area, we're close to that, where you could see some clear result. Either you reject on volume or you actually break out. More like the EJ looked on this breakout, which looks like a real one. So I wanted to let that close and see maybe if we can pop down here and see even more strength. But as far as the breakout having weakness, no, not any large supply coming in, accepting higher prices here, and then the break test continuation pattern, which is really that. This was another line. But if this closes above the 14 EMA, I may put a position on that. What's going on with the pound? Nothing. Okay. That's the break test continuation pattern, bullish pattern. Just being there. And you can see the rejection in price. And then the 1 minute. You see the strength and the volume there. So it's a nice looking break test. There was a bit of supply maybe here, but really led to nothing. These higher prices really don't have any issue, and spent so much time up here that it should be going for it. If I trust the charts right now, I don't know. The worst week of the year so far. It's all in context to the year. The worst week of the year. How things going to behave? What's going to go on? London, the great pound yen has done nothing 2 hours into the session. Yeah, maybe it's a time to keep risk low until the market shows a little more certainty. But the EJ is looking decent. I'm seeing if this guy is really going to kick in and help this go. And that would help be a decent trade on the EJ. But it's pretty much just strong euro. Oh, it's breaking now there. That's driving this. Got a weak US dollar, but we can't get the weak yen, huh? I hate the euro dollar chart. Take a screenshot, send it to me if you want to piss me off at any point in the future. This right here. Suck my ass. Figure it out, smart money. Figure it out. Make a decision. Bullish on the euro today. That's the whole story of the entire Forex market. Or at least the pairs I look at. You managed a few 1% profit trades in Fed week. I knew could be 2-3% in each, but managed to manage really well. Now I've removed that need. Oh, making demands on how much profit you're going to make. Yeah, you read the chart. Yes, I've noticed that, Mr. Knox. The Fridays, even on the big news, London hour is okay. Yes. Still fresh in my mind was that move last Friday. Holy shit. The buy in the pound yen. That went 90 pips in 15 minutes or whatever it was. And did we have news last Friday? But yeah, I noticed Fridays are pretty damn good. News or not. It's really Monday seems to be the only questionable day for the London hour trade. Yeah. Yeah, last Friday was the break to the upside. You had to sit through like 2 5-minute bars of a slight down move. And then next thing I know, I'm looking at this thing 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 pips. Quick. And then the Friday before that was non-farm, and yes, I traded it, and I stayed in the move with my stop to break even. Non-farm carried it further. Unbelievable. So here I was considering entry if we got above 14 EMA, right? That's your kind of move, floating support resistance. It's behaving. So if we are going to come down, then we have the other option of I'll draw it back the way it was if we're going to come down. Doing a quick stop hunt on those that are chasing the long entry. It's, a bunch of stops are here on the FOMO long entries in here. So we could just, grab that and then move up. And we'll know it when we see it if that's what's happening. I'll draw it back in if it might happen. But yeah, the London hour trade Friday seems to be no issue at all. If anything, they're good. And then Mondays can be the questionable ones. Mondays are the day I think I'm going to be skipping. And there may be a correlation with, yesterday, the loss on the London hour trade, breaking the winning streak, and then the CPI, which was really a big deal for markets, which again ended up not even helping figure out where we're going. But if it's a really big deal kind of thing, maybe you skip that day. Maybe there's some correlation between the pound London hour trade not working yesterday and CPI. I don't know. I'm not worried about, at this point, the win-loss ratio and obsessing over how to cut losses. But if there is a loss, I do want to maybe identify something that was risky about it. So it could just be on really important high-impact news. But then again, like these Fridays have been great on non-farm and whatever news. So who the heck knows? Observing it. We've been trading this thing, testing it, and then trading it since October, right? So well, the longer we do it, the more you get to know the nuances, right? EJ, what do you want to do here? So London hour trade, nothing yet. Sitting in the middle of the range. EJ, maybe long. What else? We do have strong euro, that's why, but I'd like to see some weak yen along with that, and then we have a nice match. Last Friday was the pound yen. The entry was on the first possible bar you could enter, 4:05 a.m. my time. Look in the Discord. The London hour trade chat in the Discord. You'll see some talk about it there when it happened. Yeah, there you go. But as you said, Fridays, yeah, there's that. Yeah, insane. So at this point, it's like, it's proven as far as the track record of that setup. As simple and dumb as it is, there it is, right? So at this point, it's like some little nuances are being worked out. Like, what if you have a breakout to the upside where the volume's too high to take, but then the next bar closes properly up into new high ground on low volume? Do I take that? No, I don't. It has to be the initial move outside of the range. It has to be right, or else no deal. Little things. And yeah, news days. Do we avoid it completely if we feel like it's really important to the market? Not just high impact news for the sake of it, but how important is it really? I don't know. Working that stuff out. Yes, it is absolutely ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. But but you love it. I know. It's so crazy because it seems like it's like a clickbait video. Too easy. I thought it would be like 65 to 75% profitable. At least 70%. That's what I was saying in the beginning. I would say at least 70%. Yeah. If I can be 70% win, maybe 75. We'll call it a good trade. It'll be something I do. Try to at least stick to one-to-one risk reward, blah, blah, blah. Milk the bigger moves if possible and all that. That's all I expected. Gives you a slight edge. That's all I expected. Not nailing some magical time of day where decisions are made and millions of dollars are moved on the pound because of that bar. That's it. That's all you need. Like, okay. But apparently so. Absolutely absurd. EJ, slightly lower price, but basically the break test spot again. We could check the 1 minute. Are they buying here? Market got really quiet and then, yeah, popped up on some volume. So you see the buying. I don't know. Do I trust anything in this market right now? There's probably some secret society of traders. Well, or it's like a bank thing or something. Yeah, there's something behind it. Yeah. It's like insiders know about it or something, because I never heard anyone point that out. It's an insider thing. Gotta be. Will you do an updated London hour trade with all the nuances soon? That's a good idea. London hour trade video part 2. I think when I'm totally settled, I know it's been a long time. We've been doing it since October, but still, like as long as I'm asking questions and I have a gray area about anything, I'll wait. You know, I want to get all the rest of it in there in one video. Yeah, but yeah, soon I should. Yeah, soon. But then again, I say in the London hour video, go watch the live streams just to learn the nuances. Oh, well, you got to put some time into it. Yeah, I know. Seeing it live is just the best thing. So either this pops down and shows strength, or we get above the 14 EMA, and it suggests we're going to try to break the high. Do we trust this? We're going to get stuck in some quiet market that's going to mess around. Come back to some average price of the day and go to sleep. You know, come on. Weird week. Weird week. I would say to people, don't get discouraged because of this week. Hopefully you've been doing well. There were plenty of opportunities in January. Again, just the London hour trade itself. We got a handful of others live. But if this week is, don't be discouraged. Yeah, if it's throwing you off. Don't overtrade. Don't over risk. Chill out. Keep your standards high. Keep your risk in check. It is a tough week. Uncertainty in the market. That is the word. Very simply. It's all about uncertainty right now. Maybe I can get a small move here. Another leg up. Just based on a small time frame. But the overview is just crap. Yeah. When they figure it out, we'll know immediately. So again, nothing on the London hour trade yet. How long do I give it? 3 hours? So still an hour and a half potentially to get that, give or take. Weak Australian dollar now for the moment, at this very moment. Maybe we'll see that. Get an answer at those supports, what's happening. Ooh, extremely low volume. Testing for supply at the 14 EMA. Check another broker. Wait, where is that? Oh, that's here. Okay. Yeah, we saw that in real time. Okay. The 1 minute. Really low volume, and then at our spot again, we popped up off of some more volume. Okay. So it was like very little selling, and then the buying hit where we would expect them to start buying. So that actually makes sense. Yeah, 3 hours seems about right. Yep. That again, that's another detail. Just figuring out, because most of the time it either sets up or it doesn't. And when it does set up, it's within the first hour or two the most. It's usually pretty quick. So we didn't get to deal with that much. Like, what's the cutoff point? But yeah, I'm thinking 3 hours. Yeah. Three hours, 1 minute? Well, you're working off 5 minute candles, so that's not going to happen. Or bars. So it's actually 2 hours and 55 minutes because you can't actually enter until 5 minutes in. It doesn't actually start till an hour and 5 minutes in. There you go. So 3 hours would be 2 hours and 55 minutes. There you go. But it's just a general time frame, and maybe we tweak it a little bit. But yeah. Do we think the euro is going to continue up? And do we think the yen is going to continue down? That doesn't look to be doing anything. Euro just kind of went flat since this up move, huh? We definitely don't see the markup style buying. Again, it looks like a real breakout the way it's behaving there. No weakness. Everything else we're looking at says real breakout, but the markup style buying to push up price and continue that move is not happening. Not yet, at least. again, maybe the pop down into the fib and the high volume rejection there. The original plan. Keep drawing it and deleting it. Part of New York are you? My uncle lives in Brooklyn. I used to have an uncle that lived in Brooklyn. Hoping to visit at some point. Everything sounds so expensive, though. Yes. I don't actually go into Manhattan much. I'm right near it. I could practically walk there. Well, I wouldn't do that, but walk over a bridge or through a tunnel. But yeah, I could be there in 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm in an undisclosed bunker. But I heard, I don't know if it was true. Somebody said $7 for a slice of pizza. I don't know if that's true. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, out of control. It's just total misery in Manhattan. In Brooklyn, you get, yeah, that's a little different. They got kind of their own communities there, and they do their thing. Manhattan is just, ugh. Everybody's hating it. Tiny, tiny, tiny apartment for $3,000 a month. You get a closet. You got to use the bathroom in the hallway. They're splitting apartments in half because people can't afford the whole thing. They're making, they're splitting the units in half. They're putting a wall, install an extra bathroom in the kitchen. There you go. You got 2 rental units. I mean, either you have a lot of money and you're enjoying that kind of life, or you're just living with 4 other people and just hating life and spending $7 for a slice of pizza for dinner and some ramen noodles. That's what's going on. You're the one or the other. I think my mom and her husband paid like $40 for 2 coffees and 2 hot dogs. It sounds right. At Central Park. Oh, I can imagine. Yep. London sounds, yeah, I would imagine, yeah, major cities are just kind of doing this thing now, yeah. £1,000 live in a box. Literally, yeah, that's cheap. That means, yeah, you have just enough room for, yeah, there's no extra room whatsoever if it's 1,000, yeah. A bed, a sink, a toilet, tiny closet, if that, that's it. Maybe a stove, maybe a burner. It's not worth it. I don't get it. Well, here they call it, let's watch the EJ. Manhattanitis. I've heard it referred to as that. Manhattanitis. It's a mental illness that you just stay, even as much as it sucks, and you never leave. You don't like leaving. You actually get anxiety when you leave the city, and even though it sucks and your life sucks living there, you just like you can't imagine anything else. Mental disorder. So is anyone convinced that the euro, particularly the euro versus the yen, is ready to continue its markup? Not very convincing. Can we even close above the 14 EMA? Can we even do that? You've heard there's some weird New York culture where people just refuse to leave. Yeah. And if they do, everyone's a bit cult-like and stops talking to them. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right. Yep. Plus, if you leave the city, it's kind of a big deal. I mean, tolls, I don't know. I can't only imagine. Last time I went to the city, I took a Uber, so I don't even. I guess it was included in the price. I don't know the tolls, but just to go hang out and and then you got to park, or you got to take some ass public transportation or something. I mean, just to get together with somebody in the city if you don't live in the city is a pain in the ass. It's not worth it. Yeah, just forget it. We won't be friends anymore if you're moving out. Yeah, that sounds right. Because yeah, if you're broke, you could just walk anywhere in the city, take a train. And the trains are lovely too. No, they're not. Terrible. Okay, so we're close to potentially an entry on EJ. It looks like it's going to sleep. Is this something we're dealing with at this time of day? Also, it's just this lack of activity. No London hour trade. No decision here on is the breakout going to continue. We lost all momentum once we got into London. It might be a time to just let the market figure out what the hell it wants to do. This has been the theme. Uncertainty out there. It's not us, it's them. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards that. Damn, I wish I had that song to mix now. Shit. Send me the files. New York City subways sound vibrant with activity. Yes, rat activity. It's vibrant. Everything you heard about New York City subways is true. Rats, smells like urine, homeless people taking a crap in the bucket of the guy who's mopping. People just acting totally insane and everybody just doing nothing. Just a bunch of NPCs looking straight ahead like nothing's going on as someone is completely freaking out. Nobody reacts to anything. You could do the craziest shit. You could go on the subway and just scream your ass off and run around and rip your shirt off and just act like a maniac. No one will look at you. No one will say anything. It's really just freaking weird. I have no desire to be in that place. Yeah, that's an actual video I saw. He started taking a crap in the bucket. The guy was mopping. Homeless guy, real quick, pulls his pants down, starts, and everybody goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Stop, stop, stop!" He's like, "Leave me alone! Leave me alone!" He's not getting up. He's like, "I'm taking my shit. That's it." He's like, "Wow, leave me alone." I think it was just the mopping guy, and maybe one person reacted. Most people didn't. That's the thing. NPC land, a bunch of bots. What do we do with this market right here? What do we do? We're going to come down to the lower level of the London hour level. We'll see what we get there. No continuation type of activity on the EJ. Staring at that thing doing nothing now. Subway is a great place to do PC. Yeah. Do anything you want, pretty much. The messed up thing is you'll have, like, stuff go on and no one will step in. It's really bad. Like, you could have a man, threatening a woman. Nobody will step in. Or you can have somebody just kind of going around bullying people, punching them or doing whatever. And it's like, okay, there's like 12 men here and one dude, like, somebody step up. Somebody step up. Stop this shit. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Everybody just mind your own business. Mind your own business. No matter what's going on. Terrible. It's so stupid. So visit New York City. All right. I remember there was a guy, crazy dude walking the street. This was years ago, 8th Avenue. Crazy guy walking the street, grabbing women in their privates. So I saw him do it once. I saw him do it twice. And then I found a cop. Of course, it's me. Nobody does anything or says anything. So I go to the cop, right? And I tell the cop what the guy's doing. And he tells me, if nobody's complaining to me that's an actual victim, if no one wants to press charges, there's nothing I could do. There's nothing I can do. I said, this guy right here, him, he's doing it. He's like, there's nothing I can do. Unless the woman is going to come to me and want to press charges, I'll do nothing. I'm going to do nothing. That was it. So visit New York City. In 99. Yeah, that story was in the late 90s, to tell you the truth. No, it's much worse now. Yeah. The main thing is the drug, homeless, drug, insane people are out of control. And crime is out of control. Much worse than, yeah. No, wait. The late 90s was Giuliani. Oh, you visited in the safest time in the history of Manhattan. In 99. Absolutely the safest time in history. You could check the crime stats. That was the perfect time to visit. 99. There you go. All got cleaned up. Yeah, I'm a good tourism advertisement. I can't stand by and see that stuff. Can't help but try and do something. Yeah, but it's like, I know nobody has my back. If I step into some situation, I'm alone. It's ridiculous. Bunch of beta NPCs in that city. All the normal people have left. Come on. You had an amazing experience? Yeah. Factually, what happened was, politics aside, whatever. I'm not even talking about that. But when Rudy Giuliani, became mayor, in 96 or something, he probably doubled the police force, if not more. And they actually did their job, unlike now. They just stand around. And Times Square went from that, if you look at the way it looked before, it was all just disgusting. If you want to do some dirty business, you go to Times Square. He ended all of that. He made it tourist friendly, safe, put some lights on in this place. It was dark and, dingy. It's like, what else are you going to do with it? Bring bring in business and get rid of crime. So New York City had a good run at that time. And then 9/11 happened. Would I prefer to take GU or GJ? I don't know. You read his biography, Giuliani? Yeah. I mean, if there's ever a proven textbook way to clean up a city, whatever he did in the late 90s did the job. I lived there, I'll tell you. It completely cleaned up fast. Between the pound dollar and pound yen. Oh, the pound dollar hit the low. Whatever sets up cleaner is typically what I go with. If they both set up at the same time, it's whatever looks cleaner. And then also I could split it up and put some on one, some on the other. But that reaction to the support doesn't have much volume on it, so that's a decent start to seeing it maybe set up to the downside. Still hope for the London hour trade. Do we trust the market this week? I've said this before. Yeah, again, yesterday was only my second losing day of. We're counting the year now, but even that tells me something. We're going after high probability stuff. If it doesn't happen, plus we know our background is clearly uncertainty in the markets right now. Uncertainty. Do we want to trade anything? We want to go light, maybe. Keep standards high, keep your risk low. Just being realistic, saying what it is, right? Worst week of the year so far as, any sort of certainty and clear stuff going on from the big money and all that. So it's really like waiting for them to figure it out. It doesn't mean there can't be a 5-minute setup that gets you 20 pips or something, but we can't even do that. Look at this thing. What are you doing, right? You're breaking out. What was the level? Oh, I moved it. The original level was there. You're breaking out? You're not breaking out? Okay, this is what we originally... This is what I'm going to draw it again. When we were here, looking at this originally, this is what I drew, saying, okay, if we can pop into here, get some volume on it, get a quick rejection. We know that those that chase the long, chase the breakout over that level, have their stops in here. We could grab that, see a sign of strength, basically, and continue. We stalled a bit, but let's see. If it's clean until the point, right, perhaps. We would want to see that volume, the higher the better. I mean, realistically, if it's just higher than all of this, right, then we're looking at high volume relative to the background. Quick rejection, and then being able to get above 14 EMA as soon as possible. You can see again here how much it just, acts as a resistance in this case. So if we get quick strength and then get above 14 EMA quick as a result, right, then it's starting to look okay, right, logically. Let's see. But there's no question about those that went long here chasing this move. And from a day trading, scalping perspective, there's a bunch of stop losses right here, right? So this could be the low, and then we go, let's see, how's it behaving? Do we get some volume on this? And as far as the others here, okay, London hour potential setup. So having said everything about the market conditions, having a rare but did have the loss yesterday on the London hour trade, having this uncertainty situation, unclear background situation, and do what you're comfortable with. Do you take the trade at all? Do you maybe take it on lower risk? Maybe you trust the London hour trade and you say, I'm going to go my regular risk. I don't care. It's independent of the rest of the nonsense. But let's see, first of all, if it sets up. I guess it's all about the average person's perception of right and wrong and acting accordingly. What was I even talking about? Oh, New York? It'd be nice if there were timestamps next to people's comment. Not much volume there, EJ. Yeah, there's no men in New York City. They're beta cuck NPCs. Sorry. Not in the YouTube budget. I just don't leave the chat on the screen because I just like my chart and nothing else. So I just check it. So I'm a little late to respond sometimes. All right, let's see. Well, if keeping my standards high, see what the setup looks like, and maybe I'll go, half risk under the circumstances of this uncertain market. What's the no regrets approach, right? I'm always saying that. Taking a good, clean, proper setup, but not going full risk. If it plays out, I'm in it. If it doesn't play out, I didn't go full risk. Not such a big deal. So that's where I'm leaning towards right now. But I always say it, right? Because I think it helps clarity on decision making. Whatever you do, you won't regret it. So if it's a nice, clean setup, I'll go in, but I'll keep my risk low today. This way I'll never look back and go, I shouldn't have done that. That's fine. Or I should have or shouldn't have, or any of that business. All right, pound yen pushing down. Still curious about the EJ, but yeah, let's focus on this. So the low there exactly is there. Okay. This low we got exactly there. Okay. EJ, again, I wanted to see strength and then a close above 14 EMA. Didn't get much strength. Didn't yet close above the 14. It's still something to consider. All right, so are we trending or expecting anything on the indexes here? Dollar index chop chop, yen index chop chop. We were talking about the EJ and having this come down, but just went dead. Is the pound strong or weak compared to others? It's a bit on the weak side. Just comparing. Okay, the pound, just in the last, whatever that is, 10 minutes or so, is coming down versus things. Versus Australian dollar. I mean, if we get strength on high volume, it is what it is, but there's the pound coming down against Canada, so a bit of selling hitting that. Let's see. Okay. This is going to close soon, so we don't get a long opportunity to see, time-wise, to see these lower prices. But so far it's holding. No rejection or pop up there. That's technically a confirmed short. Didn't spend much time down there, so I just want to see. Okay, that volume was here, and then it decreased. And that's a nice close down there. See if I want to take this stop loss. It is the pound yen, might be on the bigger side. Oh no, this is the pound dollar. Yeah, 20, 25 pips, nothing crazy. Okay. About average on the stop loss if I get in this short. I want to see if it's, if it's not moving down, I'm not missing anything. If it's accepting these lower prices or going to bounce or what it wants to do. Pound yen also. Technically the close below there. No rush. Okay, we're not seeing any fake breakout. Seeing how long we could stay below that support. It's looking decent there. The 1 minute. Let's see the result of that volume. This is nice at lower prices. This is some high volume leading to lower prices that seem to have got accepted pretty well. We've got a little spike in volume now. It's the top of the hour. Nothing going on news-wise. Okay. Dollar index trending up. Yeah, sort of, but not really. Chop, chop. Technically confirmed, just making sure it doesn't want to pop up and do a fake break, and that so far is looking good. Since we got below support, we haven't gone back above it. Stop at 90 would be plenty. That's above the middle of the range. All right, so I'm in the pound dollar short London hour trade. I'm in the trade. Pound dollar short London hour trade confirmed. I'm in it. I'm going to put my stop at 90 like I said. That for me is 24 pips. 24 pips stop on the GU short. Like I said today, and in the context of everything, I didn't go full risk. I took the no regrets approach. If it's valid and clean, I want to be in it. But it's kind of a weird week, so lower risk. And what's the pound yen doing? All right. We're not seeing a lot of volume. So, GU short, if we move up and get into these new highs for the day on the index, we'll be into some decent profit. And what's back there? Do I care about resistance on an index? I don't know. Let's just do that, right? Oh, now it wants to pop up after a minute, huh? I gave it like 5 minutes. A bit of volume. So we're calling it high? No, it's medium. And it wasn't on the initial information. It stayed there. See the pound compared to other things now. It's about even. Okay. And where may this thing go? Again, my stop is 90, 2090, 24 pip stop, pound dollar short. What is to the left down here? Obviously plenty of room for a decent target there. That's 40 pips to support. So I wouldn't even have to wait that long if I saw any trouble with strength coming in. But there's obvious support to the left, and then another one. Seems like at least with that high volume background, of course off news with no result at the end of the day, but seems like we have a result now finally. High volume effort versus result. We went somewhere. We broke through this whole area. Okay. EJ, I don't know if I want to get a... Oh, well, let's see. I'm not in a yen trade. Yeah. Not bad. Ideally, I would have liked to see higher volume on that. But it was the predicted spot and move and pattern. Something to consider. That's a nice close. Is it really ready to mark up, huh? I don't know about that euro.
Suppose we just look into things a little further. What's the cause of this tension anyway? Tension. What's the cause? One day chilling with my space brothers, I traveled through a wormhole. Appear, reappear, the stone builder, gate of the gods, strike with their pose. Coke in an ocean, wanna be a model. What, because she thought you gotta be thin. A little thick first sin, that's what dude told her. Many levels on the come up. The world could be rude and crude. Just see no home.
So again, what I notice about the London hour trade, talking about this before, the initial entry into the price area outside the range is the information that seems to be the most reliable from our testing now for a while. And having a question about, well, is this one is not an entry, but can the next one be in the same area? And the best thing is to see work off of initially what happened. Because again, if this was a stop hunt, fake break, right, it would have that activity afterwards. We've been here for 5 minutes, and then we came back up. So we didn't hit a bunch of orders there. Factually, you can at least know that. For now, I'm not taking the EJ. Again, keeping my standards high. I would have liked to see more volume here. And now it's coming back anyway. It doesn't seem like it's really excited to mark up. It could still do the 618 overshoot, double bottom, fake break. and show the volume that I want to see down here if I was going to go long. Very common pattern, so that could come around. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. All right. So I'm in the pound dollar short. Stop at 90, London hour trade. Limiting my risk in this uncertain market right now, but balanced setup. I wanted to be in it. That's my no regrets approach. EJ again. We were considering the long. It's just not convincing. Seems like it went to sleep and it could just do anything randomly when it wakes up. But the momentum of the up move is certainly gone, right? You got a momentum indicator? Yeah, you don't need one. It's gone. But again, you know, it makes logical sense if they're looking for lower prices to buy and you see that strength on the down move. But yeah, that's not now. The activity's just dying. So for the moment, sitting in this trade.
Shut your fucking mouth, I'll give you what you came to say. Pay my face, I'll play the villain, put the
So we're waiting for some action. May need a Lambo when I'm rich just to wake up after days like this. Yeah, floor it. Gonna wake you up. On average, how many hours a week do you have to sit here using your style of trading? I'm sure each style has its own time requirement. Well, lately it's been, if you're taking a London hour trade, obviously, taking a few hours, and then you're managing it, whatever. So starting an hour into London session, and then there's the opportunities to look for at the U.S. Open. And sometimes I'll just take a break an hour before that. Maybe there's news coming. And then, the first few hours of U.S. session to look for something there. And that more often is the background setups, the larger fibs and things like that tend to play out that time of day. So, 6 or 7 hours, but I very often don't even do that much. That's max. A lot of times it's lately, again, the London hour trade. Well, that's good. I'm going to go do something else. Or, some of these high impact news days, just, doing nothing. Cutting it short before U.S. session anyway. Seeing the madness and just saying, nah. This last week or two. Good mix. What, the times I was saying? Yeah. That's how I do it. So what are we doing here? Going slow. Yeah, the prop firm thing is a bit. Yeah, it's like a little out of the ordinary as far as what it's going to do to your mindset and everything. I think it's kind of weird to worry about that, but it has its. You have your reasons. I get that. But yeah, like you're saying, once you build your own account, full no regrets. If you miss it, you miss it. Yep. You got sticky keys. You got some beer. I gotta make sure I don't get hot sauce on my mouse. That's the problem. I'm addicted to hot sauce, but I've learned the hard way. Wash your hands. When you touch the bottle, wash your hands. Because if you rub your eyes or any other particular areas I won't mention, you're gonna be in pain. How did I get on this topic? But anyway, yeah. No, your grammar's fine. And there you go. It's time management. I definitely want to be here for the London hour trade, the way that's been insanely good. So I kind of now plan around, okay, I definitely have to be on for that. And then if I have something useful or productive to do, especially if that's a win, then I could just close up the charts and do other things. And manage the swing positions too. So into U.S. session, look at my swing positions, what's happening with that. So it's not a crazy amount of time. Oh, there you go. There's a good hot sauce story. If you press backspace, it shuts down. Yeah. Got it right here. I won't even touch the bottle. Garlic Reaper. Carolina Reaper. Gotta buy some more. All right, with this trade. 14 EMA, let's go. Oh my God, this week. Worst week of the year so far. It's all in context of the year. I reset in my mind in January. The market changed too, if you noticed. Cryptos woke up. Things started behaving a little differently looking at these charts compared to December. But yeah, that's kind of my mindset is okay, reset. January 3rd, we came back. This is the worst week so far. The uncertainty is obvious in the market. Anyone who says there's a high probability of anything going on, besides cryptos moving up, maybe, they don't know what they're talking about. There is no high probability. But we'll know when we see it. This week, man. Kiss my ass. Yeah. Get the Garlic Reaper if you like hot sauce. Who makes it? All right, I'm going to touch the bottle. Oh, gosh. I'll have to use wipes on my hands after this. Torchbearer sauces. Garlic Reaper. So good. The thing is, it tastes so good, I put more than I should, and I'm burning up, but I love it. I'm addicted to it. Torchbearer. Gotta get some more. Ingredients: Carolina Reaper pepper, garlic, vanilla oil, water, vinegar, lime juice, more garlic, a couple other things. Do you really? Me too. Hot sauce induced delirium. It's wonderful. You got all kinds of chemicals going on in your body at that point. Here we go. We're going to go off topic for the rest of the session while we sit here. I'm telling you, do the hot sauce induced delirium while you're exercising, while you're lifting weights. This is what I do. I started working out in December. I'm sticking to it. I have a hot sauce, whatever it is. I could be dipping potato chips or something. Not even a lot, just a little handful in the hot sauce. Straight up. It's all about the hot sauce, not the chips. 5 or 6 chips, whatever. But you dip it in the hot sauce, you get the burn going, and then you lift. It does something, man. Your body's making so many good chemicals. You get a high. Natural high right there. Try it. I recommend everybody do this. I've gotten really used to it, so yeah, it's weird. I think it's since my back pain, too. I was in excruciating pain. I went to hell and came back. I have a higher threshold for pain, for sure, since then. That shit changed me. What are we doing with this trade? Really? Oh, my God. This week can kiss my ass, and the markets need to figure out what they're doing. Your girlfriend's listening? Oh, gosh. Hi. Yeah, we talk about whatever comes up. So like I said on this, I didn't go full risk. I don't see any reason to get into anything else. I don't like the behavior of the market this week. The more time goes by, the less I like it. The more news comes out and it doesn't help the situation, I don't like it. But I'll give it to you straight, as far as the way I see it, at least. What do you guys say? It's shite. Bullocks. Fucking bullocks, mate. Yep. It's good to know when it's going on. It's good to lower your risk or even not trade until you see something clean and obvious on the chart. Okay, good. Something happened. Eurodollar broke out of the range finally. Or, the high volume in the background has occurred not as a news spike with no result, but an actual, traditional regular VSA type of background. You could just wait for that to come back. Of course it will. Always comes back, right? But I think that's the responsible thing. You get kind of used to how easy it's been, but I'm kind of reminding you, yeah, and myself, take it as it comes. And for me, one bad day means, okay, something might be going on. And then to see this today, and again, the background, it's just not clean. Facts on the chart, they don't know what they're doing yet. Uncertainty. So it would be silly just to keep trading aggressively, set up. Well, that's good enough. It's a 7 out of 10. I'm jumping in full risk. And to finish out the week like that and do badly, it's like, that's regrettable. You kind of knew not to do that, This is the best advice I could give right now after the last 5 or 6 weeks of things being very easy. All right. Take a break. Chill that out a little bit. At least that's the way I see it. That's what I'm doing. If this trade doesn't work, that tells me something's up, right? We're doing high probability stuff. If this trade doesn't work, I'm waiting for the chart to tell me it's all good. Green light, normal behavior, trade again. That is my plan. Well, EJ, it's trying to convince you. What do you think? Fifth wave up. Exactly where we wanted to see that retracement. It would have been nice to see more volume on that. But that was a pattern I highlighted way back here. So it's not a random thing. It was slow getting there, but it happened. And then the solid closes above 14 EMA are not bad. And again, like I would go really small risk. See what I could get away with maybe here. If I even want to do it. You know what? I think I'll pass. And it's because the volume was not there. I'm trying to keep my standards high. I'll pass on the EJ long. Small position? No, I'm going to pass. Yeah, I'm going to pass. If I did take it, I was going to go small, but nah. I would have liked to see some more strength behind it. Not a time to be overly aggressive. But you see the situation, whatever you're comfortable with. But I'm passing on that trade, yeah. Mr. Vic, is gold going up? Question mark. Last I looked at it, I swing trade gold. I do not day trade it, but we were talking about I'm looking to buy down here, add to my position that I sold some off here. So as far as my swing trades, I bought here, sold some here. And if we can get down into these areas, I'm looking to buy again. But generally, markets, again, the correlation of what's going on this last week, week and a half. This is a correlation among markets where you've had a really choppy range with news spikes in volume and activity that don't give you a clear result. And there's a lot of uncertainty coming from the chart. But generally for me, swing trading, buying low, selling high, I'm looking for lower prices. This is the beginning of where I was going to look to buy. So see how low we can get. If we can get some high volume demand coming in. Normal stuff. It doesn't have to be news craziness. It doesn't tell us much. But a sign of strength, if you know what I mean by that. So I'm just looking to accumulate into down moves at this point. I don't see any reason to buy. This was a break test continuation pattern highlighted here that might happen. But I don't see any reason to buy. I'm looking for lower prices still. Really just got out of this choppy crap that it was in. Finally got a result off of yesterday's news activity. Where are we going off of this price range? We finally got a result. So it may be, pointing towards lower for the near future. Looks like the down move is real. So I'll look to buy lower. I thinned out my position, and so I got to buy some more. Gold and silver good this year? You think so, Coco? Yeah. Well, if it's low, I'm buying. If it's high, I'm selling. So you're going to know what I'm doing. But that's the good thing about swing trading or position trading, the way I do it. Whatever prices come in, it's less work on prediction. It's more just positioning with what you're seeing, buying low, sell high. It's key levels when the price acts right, the volume acts right. Basically, buying accumulation, selling distribution, right? Own more on the way up than you do on the way down.
Tell people more about the advantages of our product. Our advertisements are appearing everywhere. And that cannot continue long. That's one of the things I guess we'll have to be without for a little while longer.
So yeah, I'm not taking the EJ trade. I kind of normally would, but yeah, I'm starting to accept how shitty the market is right now. Uncertainty, uncertainty. That's the key word. Hashtag uncertainty. Mr. Grayling. If Mr. Grayling isn't here, he's going to be watching later. Hashtag uncertainty. Mr. Grayling. That's the word of the day today. Tired of looking at it? I'll be happy when things decide where they want to go. You think metals generally would do well? It's weird how there's a lack of correlation for long periods of time with metals. So it's like in my mind, it's like I had to disconnect it from the rest of the market and just treat it for what it is. But really, I have no... but hey, I hope you're right. I have no prediction on it. I'll just go with what it gives me. Hope so. Ideally, we drop and I can buy some more, but I'll hold what I have. If we're up, we're going up. Hold what I have. See where we can go. Is there a particular reason you think metals would be good? Chart-wise or supply-demand-wise? Moon phases? Logic says, I guess, that the economies are doing better. There's more demand for products that need silver and gold. I don't know. If there's more demand, prices go up. Logic says, but who the heck knows? Follow the chart. And there's other things that affect it. I'm not a fundamentalist. What's up with the crypto? Oh, nice. So yesterday we spotted the accumulation and expected a markup. Here's where we highlighted the buying, buying, buying. All this stuff. Classic accumulation. Ah, it's nice to see a nice chart. Thank you. Lots of fake breakouts on widespread, high volume, bullish reaction every single time. And you know what that is, right? Totally predictable. We knew this one. Can we look at a nice chart for a second? It was the resistance turn support right here, right? So here's the dead time. There's a nice story on cryptos. Big banks follow numbers in this year's 7-year. It means what are a... Well, that works. Do I get a dip first, though? I hope. But there's an actual storyline in cryptos. unlike the rest of the markets of the world that is confused. So you know this whole deal. We knew from here. Actually, could we go back? We knew all this shit was coming. All the shit. Run the tape. All right. It's going to go to 15. It's going to scare everybody out. Yes, remember that whole thing? Yeah, we did it. That was the highest volume down there at 15 and something that we'd seen, whatever, in a long, long time. You go to a higher time frame to see that. That was the demand coming in, the stopping volume, the sell climax. Yeah, all that shit. Accumulation. And then automatic rally set up. It failed the first time. Automatic rally. Second time, it was all about getting through there. And we saw more accumulation through here, and it was actually more likely to break. And then this is a surprise to everybody because they gave up on crypto, so there's that. And then we had a resistance here. Finally, that formed for a little while. But breaking through that, the resistance becomes support, right? And those that are chasing now, oh, we're getting back into crypto, I guess, huh? They're buying up here, right? They're going to put their stop below there. This is all full of stops. We knew this before the down move. We're talking about it. So they sell off, right? The FOMO weak positions up there. They sold off. Here's the level is this, right? You put your stop below it. So they're here. All through here, really. Stops getting hit. So that's the dumb money selling off to the smart money there. You see the activity. Double bottom fake break, classic pattern. This is somewhat like an automatic rally as far as resistance after strength. You'd have to count that as the push through the break. Oh, break test continuation pattern, automatic rally. Wyckoff would be satisfied with this chart here. Break test continuation pattern. Now we're officially in the uptrend again, getting above the automatic rally successfully. And break test. So this officially is, well, here really, above automatic rally, is just the beginning of the uptrend. This was accumulation, reaccumulation. So if you do 5 waves up, whatever, typical fake break patterns, it's going to try to break that next. That's the next hurdle. Check the GU. Still sitting there. Great. So back to a nice, happy chart. So just beginning the uptrend. If we don't see large supply weakness coming in, like we pointed out on that earlier attempt. Whatever. I pointed out earlier. Because you could fail. You fail to push up on weakness. But if we actually can close and accept this price on regular volume without getting squashed on high volume, rejected, then we're still going. We're good with the uptrend. We're looking for a whole wave up, really, off of that. If you had to draw it out, basically, you're looking at this, roughly. Very roughly, very, very roughly. Try to break new highs, and then if there's not weakness coming in here, that's the next hurdle, right? But that goes back to the original, as we knew, prediction of 24 is going to be the thing. We can at least get there. Now what, if we can get through it? The last time didn't have too much selling. Wasn't terrible. So give or take. Generalized. That's the projection. And again, there's not a lot of weakness here. We keep going. Doesn't have to be in a straight line. Then what? 32. Yep. See this to the left? These quick moves in this area? A lot of you know this, right? Different styles of trading, you've seen these things. Price tends to go quickly in the other direction through it. So now we're heading into that area here. So it does actually suggest that that's going to be fast there. That is not unreasonable at all. So says the chart. I'm just the messenger, right? You see it. And if you look at where the buying is to the left, right, it's all through here. This is still nothing. Really get into markup off this whole accumulation stuff. It's a long way to go. Can't draw a fib right now. Is that right? Yep. It's reasonable. What's the date on that? Hey, right around my birthday. Nice. There's my birthday present. Take it as it comes, but that's the projection right now. All right, back to the sloppy Forex. Metals, it's like a 7-year cycle thing. Or well, you're adding up 2 and 2 and 3. But hey, we'll see. That'll be cool if you nail it, and I'm buying off demand and the cycles. All right, are we moving here? Are we doing something? Yeah, the dollar index pushes up, our trade goes down. What are we looking at? Okay. What was the stop? 24 pips, right? Which is right around average. Okay, so the 1-to-1 is before the support, technically. Somewhere around here is 1-to-1 risk reward. But if we're that low and we're not seeing strength, we might actually get to the support. 30-something pip. Decent target area, especially if we see strength. Could close most of the trade there if you do see strength. I kind of missed the original London hour level, too. I want to leave that in there. Okay. And we have a little support. All right. EJ, I ended up passing, not taking that trade. Looks like it's gone flat. Still never brought back the momentum of that up move. Okay, that's interesting. If that's what they use, that's what they use. I would not be surprised. Especially, again, metals seem to have a mind of their own. So there has to be some logic behind it, and that could be it right there, yeah. All right, well, like I said, maybe I'll end it soon. Stop is at 90. Analysis, technically wise, the target is basically 2030. Support. The one-to-one risk reward is just above that, around, 40? So I wouldn't touch it until that point, unless I saw high volume strength coming in. Then I would react to that. But otherwise, I'm not touching the trade till it gets down there. And yeah, like I said one last time, uncertainty, hashtag uncertainty. Yeah. I'm going to be passing on trades unless they're perfect. I'm going to keep my risk low. I don't have to do anything else the rest of the week or until whenever, could be today, until the markets figure themselves out. We get a clean situation. We went over all the analysis, why I'm saying that today. So if you didn't catch it, watch the stream again. And how the charts are showing that uncertainty right now. But it always comes back. It'll come back. We'll know it when we see it, right? So what's today? Wednesday. I will be back tomorrow, as usual. At least I plan to, unless I get the tracks to mix the HSCC song. Check them out on YouTube. The greatest cover band in the world. Finally Street Country Club. If I get the files to mix, I might not show up tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. What do we got today? Is that news? What's tomorrow's news? Oh, frickin' PPI. God. I'm already looking at next week. Yeah, that's better. All right, but chances are I'll be here tomorrow. If not, I'll let you know in the Discord. Otherwise, see you tomorrow. Trade safe. Keep your standards high. Good conditions will return. If you did miss the analysis, go back in the stream and watch it. See where we are right now in the markets. Okay. Have a good one, guys. See you soon. Well, I leave it open for news. I would like to manage my position going into news. If I'm around break even, I could trim it down. If I'm in profit, I can move my stop to break even. I don't like leaving full risk on going into news. So good question. I figured by then I'd be somewhere on the trade, but yeah, who knows, right? So it's good to trim down risk or get rid of risk if possible. Yes. Yes. You could be right, but it could spike up and then go down, right? So yeah, absolutely. Good point. Good point. It's a bit of a casino when that news hits. So yes, lowering risk, getting rid of risk is good. Okay, very good. See you guys.